Hey, lovely people. How are you? Welcome to the Truly Myrtle podcast. It is a beautiful, beautiful summer's day down here in New Zealand, and I am beaming out onto YouTube and Facebook all at the same time to chat with you. Oh, Lynn, you're lying in bed, foot up, knitting at the ready. Excellent. That's the way to do it. Poor old Lynn. Hope you get better soon, Lynn. What a annoying time of the year to be bedridden. Oh, my gosh. Hey, I'm going live, so I can see you all on YouTube and Facebook. Can't see the Facebookers yet, but they're coming. Hi, Sharon. Nice to see you. So you can say hi to me in the chat. Grab your knitting, grab a cup of tea, and just join me for a quick chat. I just said it was a beautiful day. I think summer has now hit in New Zealand. It is really, really lovely. But I am so, so hot. I'm so hot. And look, that was this side. Mozzies. The mozzies are here. I have got mozzie bites on me, mosquito bites. So the mozzies have hit us already. And I think we might get more mosquitoes than you would get in town out here in the country. Oh my goodness, but you wake up at night. Last night, a mosquito, I think it kamikazed to my ear because my ears aren't great. I've always had problems with my ears. I don't have fabulous hearing. And so often I'll be lying in bed, particularly if I'm lying on this side. I can't hear anything. And Mr. Myrtle says to me, "Can you hear a mosquito?" And I say no. I can't hear any mosquitoes, thank goodness. And last night, though, I was lying down. I think it was this side. And I think I felt something here, which might be, I think I've got a bite somewhere in here that I got eaten. And then this mosquito literally kamikazed to my ear. I could hear it like that. And I went smash on my head, as you do. And often you do that and you miss. And that is not a pleasant thing. But I got it. I got the mosquito. And so then I could go back to sleep without having the being bitten. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But it's so nice to see some sunshine and some good weather, so it's pretty good. Sabrina says it's a very warm 28 degrees down with you. I should clean my glasses. It's either my eyes or my glasses are feeling a bit foggy today. I think it's actually my eyes that might be feeling a bit tired today, my eyes. But let me just clean my glasses anyway so I can see what you're saying properly. Warm 28 degrees down there. Yeah, I don't know what it is up here, but I think yesterday or the day before it was 25, and it's definitely that hot already. So I'm thinking it's going to be a real scorcher today. It's going to be 31 in Melbourne, Sharon. Ooh-wee, that is hot. This is about as hot as I like it to go. I'm not that thrilled about it getting any hotter, but look, if it gets hotter, it gets hotter. 2 weeks you got your foot up, Lynn. So will you be active for Christmas? Lynn, poor old Lynn's hurt her foot. And so she's a yarn dyer, aren't you, Lynn, with fibre to go. And so normally, I guess at this time of year, you're dyeing and you're sending yarn and it's all action stations. And she has been confined to bed with her foot up, or just 2 foot up, which is not, you're just not a still person. You're an active person, aren't you, Lynn? So it must be frustrating. Hey, Becky, nice to see you. She said it's slightly cooler in Sydney, but it's really humid. Yeah, the humidity's quite strong. There's quite high humidity here as well. It's just heavy. Everything feels a bit hot and sticky. Hey, Claire, it's getting warmer down with you too. Yay. And it's going to be a hot one in Adelaide today, says Robin. And it's going to be hot in Gippsland, says Marianne. You don't like it. You're under the aircon already with my knitting. Of course, you need old-fashioned mozzie coils. I think I need something. I'm not that keen on all these ones that emit smell, those things, this and all of that. Especially not in the bedroom. I'm not that keen on that, but I need something. I think what we need is to get some nets for the window, which we don't have, and then we can just leave the window open. And but we've got those windows. Our house was built in the 80s, and so it's got these really ugly brown aluminium windows, and they swing out. And so I think there's a special kind of net you can get. I keep meaning to. We've been in this house 10 years. I've been meaning to years to look into those nets, and I haven't done it. But I should, because you just get eaten alive. Hey, Barbara, you're roasting hot and rangiora already, and you're wearing your paloma. Well, I just can't even wear sleeves today, Barbara. I am in my reef top today. This is what I'm wearing. Let me just get a bit more so you can actually see a bit more of me. I'm wearing my reef top, and this is just what I feel like wearing today, although I notice it's like I'm bigger than I was when I made all these clothes, and so I'm feeling like I really need a new wardrobe of clothes. I've filled out, and you can see my bra pretty clearly through this. I have to wear a red bra underneath, and I'm like, whatever. I'll just wear a red bra. It's fine. But everything kind of wants to shrink on me lately. So I'm thinking I need some new. I should actually just knit myself one of these, shouldn't I, over the summer? Just the next size up, I think, would be good. Because look, it's wanting to pop in here. And actually, I just need a little bit more room through here so that I'm stretching it out. Although it is linen, so if I gave it a good tug, it'd probably stretch okay. I just don't want it to get gappy there. Oh, anyway, the perils of getting older. Hi, Janice. Janice, it's nice to see you from a very warm Christchurch. It sounds like it's warm all over the Southern Hemisphere. Good stuff. Hey, Maureen. It's been windy by you. Has it? It's a little bit windy here, but it's not too bad. You've been checking for puddles of water under your trees and around the backyard. Mozzies aren't welcome here either. That's the thing. Jean can't be bothered getting off the couch. That's good, Jean. Just stay there, I reckon. Jan says the hot temperatures in that pre-menopause is not ideal. No, well, I think I'm well and truly post now, but I still get hot. I haven't had all those hot flushes. I had those for about, I don't know, well, this time last year I was sort of in the thick of it, and then earlier this year that all sort of stopped, which was great. And I just started watching what I was eating a little bit more and moving. But I've been a bit slack lately, just this last few weeks, because I've been quite busy. And I find if I do that, then I start feeling hot again. Although I haven't had like a hot flush. I haven't had that for a large part of the year, which is great. But I definitely find I get hot. And if I just have I have this like weight threshold. And so I find if I just kind of just have a little bit too much, Christmas mince pies, then all of a sudden it all floods back again. So I just need to kind of keep myself on an even keel, and then I think I'll be fine. But that is all well and truly in the past for me. Yahoo. That phase of my life, I've moved on. So now I'm just waiting for grandchildren. That'll be nice. Hey Joe, good morning. It's a stunning day in Oamaru. It's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Joe. What is it? The 5th of December. Happy birthday. So I'm sitting on the couch eating chocolate and watching me. Fantastic. It's a good place to be. I'm having a little cough because the frog is here. Hey Rebecca, she's loving that it's going to be 31 in Melbourne. You're loving that. Enjoy it, Rebecca. You just have to be dressed appropriately, don't you? No, Lynn agrees with me. Yeah, I know. You're not a still person, Lynn. You're lucky it's quiet at this time of year. You'll be in a fiberglass cast by Christmas, but still not weight-bearing. Lynn, the family's going to have to wait on you at Christmas. Sounds pretty good. It's warm and sunny in Newcastle. Oh, Stephanie can relate. Can you, Stephanie? Need a new wardrobe. That's what I'm thinking. So one of my daughters has got back from university. I have 3 daughters and one of them is at university, and she is home for the holidays. And she was out here the other day, not yesterday, day before, poking around in all my patterns and my fabric, and she's found some fabric and she wants to make herself some skirts, and she's pulled out, I grabbed a whole lot of, I've got cotton, mostly cotton. She's a crocheter. She doesn't knit, really. She can knit, but she prefers to crochet. I think it's so jolly fast. And she just makes stuff up. And so she's made over the winter these little like yoke tops that they just have like a cap sleeve. And she's done them in striping wool and stuff. And she said, oh, I forgot about these. I've got these, but they're too hot to wear now. So I said, well, why don't you just make one in like a cotton or a linen or something like that? And you'll enjoy wearing that. So we've pulled out a whole bunch of stuff, and we've pulled out some fabric, and she's cut out a pattern, and we found a pattern in a Japanese sewing book that I've got that sort of ties, and it has these, it sort of wraps, and then it has these ties, and it's almost like one of those paper baggy type tops, and she's lengthened the yoke on it slightly, but she hasn't started sewing yet. If you can hear her, she's out there in our little shed in the garden, which she's turning into a bedroom for her. Well, not she, we are really turning into a bedroom for her, because we've run out of bedrooms this summer, as we're going to be loaded with kids this summer, and not just our kids. And so anyway, she's out there sanding the floor at the moment in the little whare, we call it, the little whare. And that is going to be her room, hopefully by next week, because the next kid arrives. Anyway, what was I saying? She was pulling out all of the sewing patterns, and she's actually left a pile over there that she's discarded. And I thought, oh, I could wear that. And there's a mustard gingham fabric that it was like a linen. It might be a linen cotton mix. It's a mustard gingham with cream, And then there's this beautiful, beautiful linen. It's called Twig. It's an old one from Shibui. Does anyone remember Twig? I had enough to make a whole top. I could make a little tank like this, or something like this. I wouldn't mind one with like a really nice low scoop, actually, and a low back as well. The thing I like about this is it's got, can I show you at the back? It's got a low back, low-ish back. I'd quite like even lower back, I think. So, and I was looking at that and thinking, whoa, I could actually quite like that myself in those two things. But I just need to find the time to do it. So I'm all go now till the end of the year, till the 20th, and then I'm going to have we're going to stop and have Christmas and things, and then I've got a low January. I've got a surprise coming for you in January on the podcast. So I think you're going to enjoy it through January, so that I can have a bit of a sew up and a bit of a knit up. Anyway, that's the plan. All right, let me just see what else you're saying. So yes, Stephanie, we all, I think I need new clothes. You and me both then. Elizabeth says she's going to vote for staying on the couch and knitting as well. Sounds good to me. It's 29 degrees in Christchurch, Andrea. Well, if it's 29 down there, you get really hot there, though, when you get hot, don't you? I wonder sometimes if we actually don't get as hot as you. Up here. I don't think it's 29 yet. But it might be in my shed. It's starting to feel quite warm. I've shut the door. The windows are open, but I've shut the door because of the noise of the sander. Hi, Bernadette. She said it's windy and warm in Wairarapa. The gauge says 32. Woo! It really is. It's a scorcher down under, people. It's a real scorcher. Okay, so what I'm going to show you are, given that we're down here very, very hot, given that it's only, is it 2 weeks today till Christmas? Oh, it's the 5th. It's 20 days. 20 days today. So that's a little over 2 weeks. It must be 3 weeks. So let's say 3 weeks till Christmas. And for those of you who like to give Christmas gifts or have someone last minute you're thinking, oh, I need to give a Christmas gift, it's a little late to do teacher knitting if you're down here in New Zealand, because I don't know about you, but our school finishes today. Some of the schools might finish next week. And but you might think, A, I need something light to knit in the summer, and B, I want something fast. I can just whip it up and I can get it off to that whoever it is in my life for Christmas. And so I've grabbed a few things. I've grabbed things that I know that you guys have enjoyed, that I hear people enjoying, and that I know are fast, and well, they're fast and popular. Anyway, that's what I was going to show you. So the first thing, I'll go in order of when I put them out. I'll see if I can remember the order I put them out. I'm actually doubting I can now, but I'll try if I can remember. So I'll start with the very first thing. I've got a few shawls and some hats and some socks, and I've chosen those because A, they're small, and B, they're fast. And so you can just sit down and bang out stuff. If you had a day on the couch like this, when you just fancy like sitting in the couch or under a cool tree, or if you're in the middle of winter and it's lovely in your house and it's not too hot, you might curl up in front of the fire. But you can go like the wind with one skein. All of these, you're not going to need more than one skein to make them. So, and you might not need the whole of a skein. Some of them you certainly don't need. Barbara's just reminding me of something else. Better not be 2 weeks, says Michelle. No, I've got that. It's 3 weeks. Let's say it's 3 weeks. Hang on, I'll just see what else you're saying. Jennifer said, hello from your little coastal village. It's called Indented Head. Oh, how nice. Nice to see you, Jennifer. It's a funny name. Indented Head. I'm knitting a Georgie jumper for yourself. Oh, good on you. Happy Thursday. Oh, it's a misty East Sussex. I'm going to knit Spring Fling over Christmas time to knit and sit and concentrate. Oh yeah, you will be definitely sitting and concentrating when you're doing Spring Fling. Spring Fling was, I actually am thrilled with Spring Fling, and I'll show her all to you next year. She is a brioche shawl that I put out in Wardrobe Toolbox in October. We've just had our December pattern, which is a new top. I'll show them to you next year. I'm really pleased with both of them actually. But yeah, it's not a mindless knit, is it, Spring Fling? You do get in a rhythm of it though. Barbara said I was busy doing Christmas baking for gifts yesterday and have a DK cotton on my needles making dishcloths. And you started the Nana Gnome MCal. I think you and everybody else, Barbara. Dishcloths is also an excellent gift for teacher gifts and just quick gifts. Dishcloths are a really quick, easy gift. The thing I like to do with dishcloths, just to make them a little bit more special, is if you either crochet, because crochet is so fast, you can just crochet a square of cotton. That's probably the fastest way, I think, to do it if you're really strapped for time. Or just knit a garter square. And having been a user of knitted dishcloths now for, I don't know, I must have used them for 12 more years. Well over a decade I've been using knitted dishcloths only. I find the garter ones really good and the crochet ones really good because they just have a bit of grip. So you just bang out a square about yay big, and then I quite like doing a crochet edge. And if you want to make it really pretty, you can either just do a simple edge and you can get a contrast color and just crochet all the way round, and it just makes it into something a little bit, I don't know, just prettier. But I have got a book of vintage crochet edges, and I made myself a series of dishcloths way long time ago. I've done some since, but probably not to that extent, where I actually crocheted these really beautiful like lace borders on my dishcloths. They were just a delight to use because every time you pick them up, they're just so pretty. And so I'd have one color in the middle, and then I'd have I think I mostly did cream. I think I only did cream actually for the lace border. And so you could have a colorful dishcloth with a cream lace border. They're really effective, and it doesn't take too long to have such a great impact. Anyway, wrap a bar of soap up in it, and away you go. Okay, so I'll go back to the shawl thing. This shawl desperately needs a block, and but it's the very first shawl I put out, and it continues to be a favourite for people who are either beginning knitting, unsure if they like to wear shawls, or who are just wanting to do something really fast, and they have one skein of yarn, and it is the settler shawl, and it really needs a block because the hump in the middle wants to return, but she needs to be blocked. When you're blocking crescent shawls, you block them and you pull that hump down like that. You block them like that. I've actually got some step-by-step instructions on my blog about how to block crescent shawls, so if you're confused, go and follow it. Don't block it like that. I see a lot of people blocking them like that. Don't do that. You can actually make it go in on itself, and you pull that center part down and you block it up so it is like a crescent, and it will, depending on the yarn you used, it just will want to hump back, but you don't have to let it. You can make it curl up like that. I don't know if I can really do it, but you can make it curl up. So basically you pull the center down like that in the middle, and then you can get a flatter top. Anyway, this is settler. She needs to be reblocked, and she's so easy because the whole top is just garter, and then you do the same old increases down the sides. It's got these yarn over increases, and then the KYOK, knit yarn over knit, and then every other row is just a yarn over from memory. And you do that all the way down the side, you garter her in the middle, and then you do that fabulous, I think it's called the Indian cross stitch, at the bottom. And you get, I remind myself how many strands, 6 strands like that, and then you cross them, and on the next row, so you do these super long loops, and then the next row you drop them, well, a few rows later, your next row you drop them, because you do like 5 loops or something for every one of those strands. The next row you drop them, then you get the 3 stitches, and then you cross them one over the other like that. Super easy, really effective, and it's not too in your face lacy. If you're knitting for someone who's like, what is this? Knitted shawls? I'm not sure about that. If you're knitting for someone who you're just not sure if they're going to like it, or they're just not really familiar with wearing them, then this is a good one, because she's not crazy lacy, and look, she's not that big. So she's just one skein. I used a single spun merino. This is Mad Tosh. I think I've forgotten what it's called there, the base, but it's a single merino. And so it's just one single strand. Single strand merino loves garter, just absolutely loves garter. So it makes everything sing. But you see, it's just easy. And you can throw that on, and all of a sudden you feel, just like I'm a little bit more dressed up. And for someone who's wants to wear it like jewelry, or used to wearing a little bit of jewelry, but unsure about shawls, it's a great, quick gift. Really, really good one. Becky says, I used this pattern too. I love it. It's so fast. Yeah, it is. It's a real quickie, that one. So that's Settler. And that was the very first shawl that I ever put out. And, it took me ages. And I thought about it, and I didn't know how to write patterns, and I didn't know anything really. And, but it was good. And it's really stood the test of time, that one, because I put it out, over 10 years ago? 11 years ago? I cannot believe it's been that long. I really can't believe it. What has happened to those years, you guys? It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so the next one I put out, these are actually, I did a run of them because when I was making these shawls way back in the day, so what we're talking about, I think it was 2013, something like that, 2013, actually it must have been 2013, I think that's when I put that out, or 2014, one of those years. I lose track. There were a lot of single skein shawls. Shawls were a reasonably new idea. They weren't an idea that had really, modern shawls weren't like now. It wasn't like now. Things have changed so much. And people started with just a little bit of shawl, not a massive, you could use a whole garment worth of yarn kind of shawl. And so I did that too. The whole idea of using so much yarn for a shawl just blew my mind. So I started with single skein shawls. And this was the second one I did. This is the second shawl. I think I put this out in it was after we were back in New Zealand. I think it was 2014. I can remember, my dad was in hospital. I can remember knitting that. I put that out when my dad was in hospital. And I can remember people actually bought it. And my phone was going ding, ding like that. When they were buying, a lot of people bought it like straight off the bat, and I couldn't believe it that there was all these people that wanted to buy this pattern. And I was sitting there with my dad. I think he was when he had cancer. I think that was that time, because he's been in hospital a few times, fell off the roof as well, but that was later. But no, this was the first time. He's all better now. But anyway, and it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. It was so exciting. And so anyway, then I did this one, and this was really fun to do. I had a beautiful skein of a silk merino that I bought in the UK, and it was from a German company who, for the life of me, I can't remember who it was now. But it's a silk merino. That's all you need to know. Silk merino blend, and it really did a beautiful job. In fact, it would do lovely for all of these. You could do all of them in just a single spun merino. You could do all of them in a silk merino. If for those of you in Wardrobe Toolbox, you know a lot about yarn now, you'll be able to make an educated decision. But you could also just use those really precious skeins that you've got. And if you have a gradient, this would be excellent for a gradient, this one. So it's a single skein, and this is Antipodes. And I was not long back in New Zealand, and so she was Antipodes. And you knit her side to side like that. You start by casting on a bunch of stitches, and you knit just a little bit of garter and a little bit of shawl. I might have that round the wrong way. Here we go. We'll start at the other end. Then you can see the right side. That's the right side. And so you knit a little bit of garter and a little bit of shawl, and then you do the little bit of border, and then you do that all the way up. There's her border like that. She's this little old-fashioned lacy border. And then your garter just slowly grows as you're going. So the beauty of this one, you go until you get to about the middle, and then you just change direction and you go back down the other side. So she creates this very, very long shawl, and you wear her doubled twice. So I put her at the back of my neck first, and then I just wrap her like that, and then wrap her like that to wear her. And she is another one this has been such a popular shawl over the years. She just looks really pretty. She's just a little bit special, and I think the colour appeals to people a lot. It's amazing how many people are drawn to the colour. And you can see the pretty bit of lace, and it's not just, it's because of the double. You've got this nice double layer. And hang on, let me turn this one around the outside. Usually you get yourself dressed in front of a mirror that isn't backwards so that you can see what you're doing, but I can't seem to manage that today. Anyway, there we go, like that. The other great thing about it is you can get a skein of yarn. It doesn't matter how long it is. It can be as long or short as you like, and within reason. And you weigh it. And in the instructions, I get to weigh it, and then you can work to halfway. I tell you when to stop. And then I say, right, turn around and go back the other side now. And then you can use every single inch of your yarn. And so it means that if you don't have a full skein, you might end up with a skein of a shawl that you just have like the other one. So it's just yay long, and you just do the single wrap. And it's just a little skinny, single wrap. And but just a little skinny one. And if you have a lot of yarn, you can get a little bit longer. And then depending on how long, the ends are reasonably long. They could get longer. If you want to, you can of course knot the end. I quite like knotting the end because it just keeps everything in the right place. And so yeah, Antipodes is a really good one for that. And she is Great if you are not that keen or not that familiar with or not that keen on lace knitting, because she's a little short repeat. I think it's about an 8-row repeat, and you just do it over and over and over and over. And by the end of that, you will feel like, I kind of got this now. I've kind of got the idea of what I'm doing with lace, and the rest of it is just garter. So that one has been a really popular one. That's Antipodes. I will show you. I will show you one just slightly out of order, because this is the other one that I did. I really liked this. I actually haven't worn that a lot this last year or so, but I did wear that so much. All of these shawls, I wore them so much, and I liked this one so much that I decided I wanted another one in the same idea, the same long shawl, that same idea of the garter construction, but just a different border. And so I chose this. So this one is a different border. This is Flicker. Now this one, and I think it's the color. I love this color. I used a silk merino for this too. This one has not been as popular as Antipodes, and I think my assessment of it is that people reach that one because it's a low key color. You can kind of disappear. It's like I said, it's so many people are drawn to color, but I actually really love this one, and this is Flicker. And so I used this lace here with these open holes in it. She's so much fun to knit, so much fun working that border. I'm showing you the wrong side again, so I'll show you the right side. Oh, she's completely reversible. She's actually completely reversible, so you don't have to worry about right sides and wrong sides. Oh, well, she looks pretty much completely reversible. That is actually technically the correct side. So it's the same idea. You get your skein of yarn, you weigh it, you work up one side, you work down the other side. You create this lace as you're going. It's a pretty simple lace repeat, and you get this. I just love it. I love this sort of bold border. I'll show you what she looks like. I think that my postie must be arriving because the dog's crazy. Although our dog's getting so old now, and he just barks at nobody. He's never been a terrible barker. He's a good barker. Doesn't bark that much, but just lately he's been barking into the wind. Okay, so there we go. That is that one. And so it's a different look. Now imagine for a minute it's not gold, because I know that yellow is quite a bold color, and a lot of you are like, I'm not really sure about the gold, Libby. But imagine for a minute it's not gold, and you did this in a really moody grey, or you did it in an aubergine color. Or even the color that I'm wearing, maybe like that mushroomy color, and all of a sudden it's a totally different shawl. And so I think part of knitting, what makes it so exciting, is being able to step out of your mind, step out of your eyes and into your imagination and see patterns in a different color, because it's so worth it. You get to make what you want, and if you can start visualizing, oh yeah, let me just have a little think about how that goes. If you find that tricky, then grab your coloring and pencils, and just, if you have this pattern, you'll know in the patterns I put a schematic. I do a little picture of the shawl, a little sketch of it, and it will tell you a couple of things. One, it just tells you what the shape of it is, and also you follow that shape for blocking. You block it like I block it, like it's in the sketch, and you'll get the good shape. And this one's like a great big horseshoe. I do it. But then if you color it in a different color, you'll start getting, you might want to photocopy it so you can do a bunch of times, but you can start getting a sense of, oh, what do I like? I'm going to show you. I did the jumper that I'm doing for Wardrobe Toolbox coming up in February. Eventually I will show you my examples of how I did different colors for that garment, and you'll be able to see how different things look when you've got different colors. It was a good example of that. Anyway, that is Flicker, so that is a new one. No, it's not a new one. It's a really old one, but that is Flicker. It's the same idea as Antipodes, but it's got a different border on it, so that, again, easy peasy. It's lace that you can manage. It's a simple repeat. You work your way up, you work your way down, and it's so quick. So quick. So you don't, but the thing is, actually, you don't even have to do it that long. You could do it so that you just made a little skinny gift for someone, one of these little short neck things. You could do it with that, because you just knit to the width you want it and then knit down the other side, or work out how long you want the total, knit that length and knit down the other side. You'd probably do it in half a skein, I reckon. Wouldn't take that long. So that is that's 3 of my shawls. I've got one more shawl. This is also one from way back in the day that also needs blocking. This was interesting, the shawl. This is Rosedale, and she is another crescent shawl that uses one skein, but the shaping is completely different. She started at the top, and she does that like the settler. She does the same sort of shaping as the settler, but I did something a little bit different in this one. I used short rows. So if you want to have a bit of fun while you're going, this is a good one to choose. And you can see how her hump wants to come back, but you just block her again like that, and then the hump disappears. Because she's wool, she's a wool silk, it will want to just kind of get back into shape. But I use short rows. So I started at the top with the first short row. Oh, hang on, I just drop it. Started at the top with the first short row, so you can see it's wider on that side than that side. And then on the next one, I did another short row here, wider on that side. So these two are both, let me just check what I'm talking about. Yeah, these two are both wider on this side than they are on this side. Actually, they all are wider on that side than they are on that side. These lacy bits are all wider on this side than they are on this side, but in between the garter balances it out. So the garter is wider on this side than it is on this side. So the whole thing is short rows, and you just sort of go like that, and then like that, and then wide to narrow and wide to narrow as you're going. And so what happens is you create an absolutely evenly balanced shawl, and then you've got that lace in the middle, and I just use simple wrap and turns, and then at the bottom you just have that little pretty lace to finish with a piqué edge. So she's super pretty, this little one. She's really pretty. When I first got this yarn, this is a natural dyed yarn, and it faded, like almost instantly it faded. It was a lovely fade and sort of lemony colours, light gold, sort of, well, wheat colours, and it faded so fast. And yeah, so that was an interesting experiment with using natural dyes. I think you have to be a bit careful with them, I imagine, putting them in the sun and stuff like that. So these days she's just cream, but you can knit her in any colour. But she's just so pretty, and you could knot her, you could put her on differently. You could also wear her like this. So I think if you're going to make this for someone, you make it that this might be good for someone who you think isn't going to be frightened by a shawl, that you just what am I trying to do here, like that, that isn't frightened by a shawl. So you could just secure her up like that on your shoulder as well, so you could have her falling down. But if you had a nice little shawl pin, in fact it would be nice to give someone this with a shawl pin, wouldn't it? I can't get myself dressed. Hang on, let me just think about it for a second, you guys, because I'm not working this out very well. There we go. You could just secure it up like that, and that could actually fall forward if you want. And then if you had that together, it would be really pretty. Super pretty little shawl to wear. Let me just see your comments. You've made lots of comments, and I'm keen keeping up with them. I just go back to where I found you. I think that's the same pattern I prefer to use as well. Oh yeah, Barbara says about the dishcloth diagonal pattern, increase to 70 stitches, then decrease back to 4, has whole, yeah, that's quite a good one. That one, I just like the pretty edges on the lacy ones. Knit Pearl Repeat, that's Jess. She says, hi from Tampa, you woke up to 40 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. That's 4.5 degrees Celsius. Whoa, you're in our winter weather. Lovely. Oh, Barbara says Antipodes was her first truly metal pattern. Oh, that's so nice, Barbara. And same with Michelle. She said she knit Antipodes as a gift a few years ago. It was good for non-knitting friend who wasn't sure about shawls. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think the one I'm wearing, this is someone who you think, I think they're game. I think they'll be game for wearing a shawl, because you think about it. If you tell someone, I think we're used to the word shawl, but I know that when I first heard people talking about knitted shawls, I just thought Little House on the Prairie. I just, I was just taken right back to Little House on the Prairie, or a Red Riding Hood with the grandmother. That's what I thought when I thought shawls. And so this whole idea of shawls, if you say, oh, I've made you a shawl, someone might just go, you made me a what? So I think this is one that someone is a little bit more game for a shawl. But the other ones are definitely just, they're neck adornments is what they are. So I think they'll be good for that. Sharon says, I love knitting gold socks. Oh yeah, gold socks would be fun. Can I repeat the name of the first shawl I talked about? Beth, that one is Settler. So far I've showed you Settler and Antipodes, and this is Flicker. Now those two are the same construction, And interestingly, these two are similar construction, but this one uses all the short rows and this is Rosedale. So those are all the shawls. Those are my shawl ideas. And I think that you can knock those out in not too long, and they're not very heavy. And for these ones, you can even use straights. If you still like using straight needles, you can use straights. And for these ones, I think you could even do it in probably 50 grams or just over if you wanted to and made it really short. You could do that, and then they'd just be a single little around your neck. You know, you could be a little bit Audrey Hepburn with that one. I think be good. All right, Katie, nice to see you. You're not late, you're fine. Perfect. So those are the shawls. Now the other thing I wanted to show you, what else I want to show you first? I'm going to show you the socks. I'm not going in order anymore. I've lost the order. I'll try the order. Okay, let's go back. I know I put a hat out at some point and it was this one, and this continues to be one of my favorite hats. I love this hat. This this I knitted in Outlaw Yarn Knits, and they're not around anymore, so you need to find. I've made it with a silk merino. Oh look, it's actually my daughter's hat. It's a little bit smaller for me, but this one is just, I love this pattern and the little pom-pom on the top, and I like just wearing them just a little bit slouchy at the back. This was one of the first hats I did. I can't actually remember the first hat I did it. This could have been it, but I can't remember. No, it wasn't the first hat. I remember the first hat. It wasn't this one. But this is called Hemera, and she is one of those super fun repeats. It's a DK knit. You knit this up fast as, you do a lovely cast on, you do twisted rib, you carry that twisted rib up into the patterning, and then you create this lovely, lovely crown with the twisted rib. It's a bit like a flower at the top there, a snowflake, something like that, right up into the, I just made little pom-poms on a little pom-pom maker. I've got a couple of these, the same. My girls are modelling those in the pictures, and this is for my, well, she was probably about 8 then, actually. She's 17 now. So it was a wee while ago that I made this. 8, 10, she was something like that. So this is Hemera, and she is, I just love it. I just love that pattern, and it's so fun to work. So that is a good little option, I think, for a quick knit for someone that likes keeping their head warm, especially a younger person, I think. Well, any person really, but I think that's a cute one. And then I think this was the next of these hats I put out, and this one has been super popular, this one. And this one is called Kinna. And for this one, this is going to be a little bit slower though. This is not as quick a knit as this one, because this is fingering. This is not DK. This is a DK. So it's a little hat, but it is a fingering yarn. So there's a few more stitches that go into it. And Kinna, which is a name of a little shell here in New Zealand. You can actually eat Kinna. They look like that essentially. Is again using it from the bottom up, and it's just got that lovely little moss stitch pattern in it. I need to use this pattern again. This stitch in it, moss stitch. It's not seed stitch. That's 1 by 1. I just love that stitch. I don't know why I've never put it in a garment, and I'm going to put it in a garment because I love that stitch. In fact, I really like both of them together, and I've got a garment in my mind, and now I'm looking at that thinking, yeah, maybe I could use something like that because I really like those two together. Anyway, that is Kinna. She is fast. She doesn't need a pom-pom, I don't think. I think she just sits beautifully at the back of your head. Look, she's just got a little round shape, and you can flop her down depending on the yarn you used. I used a beautiful buttery soft merino. There we are. You can see her like that now back on my head. So she is lovely, and I've got this one also in a pinky, sort of a dusky rose pinky colour, which I really like that one too. And then the last one of these is Thinking Cap, and I've got 2 of these. And this one, I've got one of the pom-poms that comes off at the top, one of these removable pom-poms. So I'll show you her crown at the top. So you don't need to put a pom-pom on if you don't want to, because she's got a lovely crown. And this one, there are 2 versions of Thinking Cap. Now this uses a worsted weight yarn, so you could use a DK, but it's a little bit fatter. And there are 2 versions. One where the background is the same colour as the brim, and this one where the background is distinct from the herringbone and the base. And so you can choose one of the 2 Thinking Caps. There's Brainiac and Thinker. Is that what they're called? Brainiac. I can't remember what they are, but one's Brainiac and the other is Dreamer, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, their whole way of thinking. So this one, I love this, partly because I love the colours. I used Zelana, I think it's Cowrie, something like that. This is a lovely hat. I was wearing this to the netball through the winter when I go and watch my daughter play netball. It's a great hat. So cozy and warm, and it's fast because it's so fat, and it's also incredibly addictive because you just like knit and colour work all the way up. So it's a proper colour work hat. We've got a colour work inside, and you can make your inside look really pretty, and you're also getting double the thickness. So it's a really good weight of hat, that one. So that one is thinking cap, and I think you can bash one of these out pretty easy. Get one of those done, and you may or may not decide to put a pom-pom on the top. I rather like that pom-pom. I think it's a pretty magnificent pom-pom on the top. So yeah, thinking cap. That one's a good one. So those are the 3 hat ideas I had, and they have all been quite popular, and I know lots of people have enjoyed them, so I thought they'd be good ones to show you. And then finally, I thought I would show you a pair of socks, because actually sometimes socks are a good thing to knit too, but maybe not a whole pair of socks. If you're really strapped for time, knit short socks. These are great little short socks. So I think short socks are a nice option, and these ones are pretty. These are going to be probably girls' socks, I think, or for a woman in your life. And they are, so in that case, they're probably going to be shorter. They may not be a size 12 or whatever. They might be a smaller size, and then they just have a little short top. So you don't even use a full skein of yarn. I had a ball like that left after I finished this from my skein. And I started them at the toe, and then you work up. It's got a really nice little toe, these socks. I like the toe on this. I'm going to take them off. I need to do another pair. I am going to do another pair. Nice, comfortable toe on that. And then you work up until the length you need before you hit the gusset. This has got a heel flap and gusset idea that you work from the bottom up, because I love a top-down sock with a heel flap. I find them massively comfortable, and so I wanted that going up. So I did that. And you can adjust this gusset area to make it fit you better. You can have a higher instep or a lower one. So they sort of look like top-down socks, only they're not. They're knitted from the bottom up. The other thing I like about these is that you can, if you find that you go through the heel here at the back, you could just add a little bit of something extra to that heel area when you get there. So you can do that, and then you do your turns, and you come up to the top. And I've made the back of the heel, because I never wear thin at the back of my heel. I always go through there. Then I've just turned that into part of the pattern, so it doesn't have a separate heel per se. It just goes up and the whole pattern continues. These are really pretty, and then they finish with this nice little top, which has got little, can you see it? They're really pretty little eyelets at the top. So it's a nice, super easy, simple repeat on them. I'll show you on the sock again. It's a really easy little repeat. It's just pretty. They're just really pretty. So I think someone would enjoy those. And you can wear those, you could wear those under a pair of little sneakers. You could wear them whenever. They could wear them whenever they want. But I think little shorty socks are the way to go if you wanted to knock off another present. Or if you're just really, really hot and you want something to knit that won't make you feel like you're absolutely melting, like I'm about to in the next little while, knit a bunch of jumpers. I don't know. I might be crazy. I should be knitting socks, and I should be knitting tiny shawls and hats, I think, for this time of year. Every year I think I should be doing that. So that is what, if I was going to start now and I had a last minute gift to do, I think I would choose something like one of those, and I would do it. If I wasn't doing dishcloth, I'd do that, I think. Any of those real quick as knits, because they're so nice to receive, aren't they, as well? Something really special. All right, everybody. I can't see any more of your chats in the chat. I can hear my daughters going like the wind out there and sanding. Oh my gosh. We've talked for 3/4 of an hour already. It's so nice to see you all. What yarn did I knit the socks with? I used a sock yarn. So it's just a merino nylon. And the colour, which is super pretty, is... I've only used her yarn one time. But I've got others of it here, I'm pretty sure. Is Sabrina there? Sabrina, do you know what I used? Sabrina usually knows all these things. She finds them for me. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. She's a New Zealand dyer. This is a New Zealand dyer, but it's just a pretty speckle. So it can carry a speckle pretty well, this yarn. This pattern carries a speckle just a light one. I don't think I'd go for anything too variegated because you'll lose the pattern in the top, and it's nice to be able to see the pattern. It's something like, marmalade. I'm just trying to picture the ball band. Marmalade yarn, that's who it was, New Zealand dyer, Marmalade yarn. So it is just so super pretty. I can't remember the name of the colorway, but it's really, really so sweet. Just those lovely little, not too big, the speckles, not too big. So you're looking for little dots. But there are lots of people that do lovely dots in their yarn, so keep it out. Oh, I didn't even tell you, Tamsin, Jilly. These are Jilly socks. Yes, thank you, Tamsin, for reminding me. These are Jilly socks. So I think I've told you all the names of everything, haven't I? Did I tell you the names of the hats? I did. Hemera, and Kinner, and Thinking Cap. And I told you the names of the shawls. And these are Jilly socks. Because they look like Jilly socks, don't they? They just look like Jilly. It's just a pretty little socks. So they're Jilly socks. So those are my ideas for you. Oh, have a lovely day, Barbara. She's dashing off to meet a knitting friend. That sounds really nice. Yeah, it was quicker than you were this time, Sabrina. Amazing. Alrighty, everybody. I will see you next week. Now we know that we have 3 weeks till Christmas. We all feel a little calmer knowing that it's not just 2. So that's good. And but that's heaps of time. We've got heaps of time. It's going to be amazing. With so much time that we can fill with all the things we have to do between now and Christmas. And down here, it's lovely because the sun is shining, so I'm feeling quite energetic. And in the Northern Hemisphere, I just know that you are surrounded by beautiful, pretty, twinkling lights now. And you can see them from late in the afternoon, and that always makes Christmas feel so, so special. So everybody, I will catch you next week. Same time, same place. And have a really, really good week. Don't knock yourself out this week. Go, have a deep breath. Just enjoy every moment and do lots and lots of knitting. Happy knitting. And I'll see you next week. All right, everybody. Bye.